The King's Three Sons and the Test of Time. In the heart of a mighty kingdom in Nigeria, there lived a king named Obafemi, whose reign was known for its wisdom and prosperity. The people loved him, but as he grew older, he began to wonder about the future of his kingdom. He had 3 sons: Adebayo, the eldest, a serious man with a love for the laws of the land; Akin, the middle son, an energetic, adventurous spirit who believed in living life to the fullest; and Chijioke, the youngest, a thoughtful and contemplative young man who believed in finding the deeper meaning of things. One day, King Obafemi called his sons together. He was getting old, and he needed to choose one to inherit his throne. But rather than simply handing over the kingdom, he decided to test their character, using a lesson inspired by the ancient wisdom of Proverbs and his own experiences as a king. "I will give each of you a task," he said, looking at his sons. "A task that will show me who you truly are. The one who completes the task with wisdom and patience will become the next king." The 3 sons exchanged looks, wondering what their father had in mind. The king smiled and began to explain. The first test: Adebayo, the lawkeeper. The king handed Adebayo a golden crown, made from the finest gold in the kingdom. "Take this crown," he said. "But do not return until you have found the one place in this kingdom that time stands still. Once you find it, bring the crown back to me." Adebayo, the eldest, was quick to accept the challenge. A man of law, he immediately sought out the oldest sages and consulted the wise men of the kingdom. He went to every corner, searching for that one elusive place where time stood still. But after many days of searching, Adebayo became frustrated. No matter where he went, time kept ticking forward. Finally, after weeks of travel and countless consultations, Adebayo realized something. The crown had never needed to be returned in haste. The wisdom lay in the journey itself, the patience and perseverance to keep going even when the end was unclear. Returning to his father's palace, Adebayo said, "Father, I have not found that place where time stands still, but I have learned that time moves with us, and it is in our actions that we make time meaningful." The second test: Akin, the adventurer. The king turned to Akin, his middle son, with a mischievous grin. "Akin, take this pouch of seeds," he said, handing him a small leather bag filled with rare seeds from distant lands. "Plant these seeds in the ground and return only when you see them bloom into something magnificent. This is your test of endurance." Akin, eager for the adventure, set off immediately, full of enthusiasm. He planted the seeds in the most fertile soil, but as the days turned into weeks, the seeds did not bloom. He traveled far and wide, seeking advice from everyone who claimed to have the secret to growing the rarest plants. Yet, despite his best efforts, the seeds remained dormant. Frustrated, Akin returned to his father's palace empty-handed. "Father, I have failed," he admitted. "I could not make the seeds bloom." King Obafemi smiled. "Akin, you sought answers everywhere except within yourself. The true test was not in the seeds but in your ability to nurture what is in front of you. You wanted the answer too quickly, without understanding the patience that growth requires." The third test: Chijioke, the thinker. Lastly, the king turned to his youngest son, Chijioke, who had been quietly observing his brothers. "Chijioke, I have a different task for you. Take this clay pot and fill it with water from the river. But be careful, the water must not spill. Once you have filled the pot without spilling a drop, return to me." Chijioke took the pot, and for days he made the journey to the river, carefully filling the pot and walking slowly back to the palace. But no matter how carefully he walked, the water spilled. After several attempts, Chijioke sat by the river, pondering. Father wants me to carry this water without spilling it, he thought. But with every step, the water spilled. It was then that he realized the task wasn't about perfection, it was about persistence, the willingness to continue even in the face of failure. Returning to the palace, Chijioke met his father and said, "Father, I have not filled the pot without spilling a drop. But I have learned that it is not about completing the task without flow, but about continuing to try, to learn from each failure, and to grow stronger with each attempt." The king's wisdom. The king, sitting on his throne, looked at his 3 sons. "Adibeo, you have learned that wisdom is found in patience. Akin, you have learned that growth is a slow and steady process. Chijioke, you have learned that even in failure, there is strength. You are all worthy, but none of you is perfect. The kingdom will need all your wisdom, patience, and persistence." And so, King Obafemi chose not just one son, but all 3 to help him rule. Each one had something important to offer, and together, they would lead the kingdom into a future that balanced law, adventure, and wisdom. Moral lesson. Sometimes, in our search for answers, we forget that life's greatest lessons are in the journey, the patience to endure, and the strength to keep going. Whether we succeed or fail, we grow stronger with each step. And like the king's sons, we must learn to embrace all the aspects of life, wisdom, persistence, and growth. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more lessons from the ancient wisdom mixed with humor and modern insight, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Paragon Epic Tales. Hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we post new stories that'll make you think, laugh, and grow. And remember, your journey is your own, keep walking.